The oldest sea story in the Western world is the tale of Jason and the Argonauts. 12 centuries before Christ, in the land of Thessaly, Prince Jason built a great ship named Argo to sail from the kingdoms of the Mycenaeans to the far land of Colchis, beyond the Black Sea, and to fetch the legendary Golden Fleece. He met with storms and monsters. Every Argonaut who sailed with him was a hero, his name honoured forever. Legend says that Orpheus the musician went with him, and Hercules. They were sons of men and sons of gods. 32 centuries on, this town of Volos in northern Greece, where Argo began her voyage, remembers the ship and the heroes as its own. And in Argo taverns on the street of the Argonauts, fishermen drink Argo wine. It's still a seafaring place. If Jason and his men were to sail back, they would know these waters. They would find a few men who still build boats in wood with grace and strength. Like Vasilis Delimitros on the island of Spetsi.
Το κομμάτι θα πάει πλώρα και η άκρη φτάνει στην πέση.
Vasilis has been commissioned to build a new Argo. There are clues to the design in Homer's Odyssey, in the writer Apollonius, and on pieces of pottery and carvings. Using all of these, a British naval architect has drawn up detailed plans. But Vasilis has never worked from paper plans. So Tom Vosmer, an American, is building a model for Vasilis to copy. Every detail has to be right: shape, proportions and materials. No metals, only Aleppo pine wood. Argo is being built in unseasoned wood. The planks are shaped over hot braziers. Everything must be done with painstaking authenticity. People who work for Tim Severin rapidly learn to take such pains. In Ireland, he built a curragh out of leather hides and sailed it to America to prove that St. Brendan could have done it. In Oman, teams of shipwrights sewed a medieval ship together with coconut rope so that he could sail to China and confirm the tale of Sinbad. Now he's after Jason. Tim Severin wants to row and sail a Greek galley to the old kingdom of Colchis, now part of the Soviet Union, Georgia. It's 1,500 miles away through 2 dangerous straits. Any extra clues will be a bonus. It's a sort of archaeological scavenger hunt, an adventure in search of the past.
Εντάξει, πέρασε άμα πέρασε κολώσου, δεν πειράζει για να μην κάνει την πελά. Αφού πέρασε.
Vasilis, who doesn't say much to visitors, has said, I am doing this for Greece.
Well, this one, which I thought would work because it repeats the shape of the boat, and I thought, oh, this is a natural, but I don't know what you think of that, but I wasn't too pleased.
No, it doesn't work. It's kind of silly, isn't it? The dolphin's a bit chubby, and
right.
it looks like a fairground thing, yeah.
So, what we've gone to is, again, the warriors, and then I've gone for a multiple image there to spread the design more horizontally. So we have several of these heroes marching across.
Yeah, let's see how it looks. Okay. That's easily the best. With the, there's a ram's horns, golden fleece. Yeah. And again, that's the sort of right sort of red for the period. Mm-hmm.
It's a sound enough hull. The mortise and tenon joints which join the planks are intricate and secure, tiny tongues and pegs of wood dried with flame. It's a laborious way to build and a solid one. Working with 2 assistants, Vasilis completes it in 1 winter. But Argo is going to be heavy to row.
Yeah, that's it.
The oars are counterweighted with lead. It will take 500,000 strokes per man to pull this boat to Georgia.
Yeah, slide the strop further down. Right down to it, further down there. Then twist it around the toe pin. That's it. See how that balances. Hang on. Yeah. You'll need to sit in the middle of the boat so it's square on you. Well.
Not bad. All day it might be a problem.
For 3 months, an even bigger problem.
The tendency is to feather it slightly, just naturally.
Έκανε πολύ παλιό καιρό και μείναμε πίσω.
The time has nearly come. Tomorrow is launching day. Now the ship has to be protected with a coating of pitch, resin and mutton grease. It smells terrible. The new Argo is carefully decorated like a Mycenaean boat in contemporary colours. And above her beak-like ram, nobody knows yet exactly what the ram is for. She has 2 eyes to ward off evil spirits.
Σώσον Κύριε τον λαό σου και ευλόγησον την κληρονομία σου. Μη καστισεύσει κατά βαρβάρων δωρούμενος και τόσων φυλάτων ία του σταύρου σου πολίτευμα.
Τόσων δωρεών αξίους ημάς, πίσων Θεοτό και παρθέ. παρορώουσα τα πλημελήματα ημών και παρέχουσα οι άματα της εν πίστη λαμβάνωση την ευλογία σου άχραντε.
Γίνει αμάτων έχοντες Άγιοι ανάργυροι, ασιάσεις παρέχεται πάση της δεός.
Not all the other island shipwrights believe that the new boat built by Vasilis for the eccentric foreigner will make it all the way to Georgia. At least one has laid a bet that it is too narrow to survive. But they've all come to help and to see the shipwright make his private dedication. He gives the ship his adze, the tool which built her.
The other shipwrights come to help us.
The ship has been given her name, Argo. It's the oldest recorded ship's name in the world. Now is the moment of truth. Although nobody seems to have told the shipyard dog that.
Right, here we go, Tom. Gosh, she's tender. Look at her turning.
Yeah.
Oh, God. She's absolutely level there.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
Looks good. Thank you, Andreas.
Tom, see how light she is on the water there. God, isn't she marvellous?
Congratulations. Thanks, Barry.
Where's the Vasily?
God, she's lovely.
The writer Apollonius called her the finest ship that ever braved the sea with oars. Athene, goddess of the arts, was her patron.
Vasily? Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, that's great.
Bravo, Vasily.
Yeah, bravo.
The voyage is this, a journey of 1,500 nautical miles, from Greece through the Aegean to skirt the northern coast of Turkey, and finally to reach the legendary Kolkis, land of the Golden Fleece. Jason was sent there by his uncle. In the kingdom of Iolkos, King Pelias seized the throne from his half-brother Aeson, whose baby son, Jason, was taken into the mountains to be brought up by the king of the Centaurs. Grown to manhood, Jason set out to claim back his father's throne, and on the journey he carried an old woman across the swollen waters of the Anorus River. The old hag was Hera, wife of Zeus, king of the gods, and she became his protector. But Jason lost a shoe in the mud. King Pelias had been warned by an oracle that a stranger with one bare foot would bring about his death, so he sent Jason on the most dangerous errand possible to fetch the Golden Fleece. This fleece came from a flying ram which had rescued two children, Phrixus and Helle, from their murderous stepmother. The ram was sacrificed, and its golden fleece hung in a sacred place in Kolkis, guarded by an unsleeping serpent. So Jason called together 50 heroes from all over Greece, set the great shipwright Argus to build his boat, and embarked on the voyage. Tim Severin's journeys are designed to test replicas of early ships in the actual seas where they sailed. But he also hoards up any fragments of archaeological evidence which might confirm the legends themselves. In these hills, a curious site has just been excavated, which gives the Jason voyage a flying start. We know that Volos is ancient Iolkos, and here, very close to it, they've found a Mycenaean palace kingdom, small but complete, and clearly abandoned 2 generations after its building. Here, scholars suggest, is the home in exile of Jason's father, Æson. Nothing could have located the legend better. It's a good omen on the eve of the voyage.
If we find the Golden Fleece, if we get to Soviet Georgia, that is an unknown fact. I mean, that would be a happy surprise. And an awful lot of early ships did sink. I think the main risk must be that of being out in heavy weather in an open boat without a deck, in a boat that's got no keel underneath it, we have no engine. We are going to be essentially like late Bronze Age sailors, and I suppose foundering or capsizing or being caught out in very heavy weather and being blown down onto a rocky shore.
Suitable modern heroes have been found. They'll row all day, sleep on benches, do as they're told, and pay their own expenses. Miles Clark was a Cambridge rowing blue.
Did you get the bus this morning?
I got it at 3 a.m.
Was that the earliest one?
Well, it left Athens at 10.
Peter Dobbs sailed with Tim Severin on his Arabian journey.
Well, you could have found us for the next few days anyway, I think.
We're not going far. We're not going far.
That's right. Do you want to take the stuff down?
Hi. Peter.
You want to pass all your stuff down?
Peter Moran is a hotel management trainee. He's the cook, he'll have to row as well.
That sounds good.
Peter Wheeler is the bosun. They say that he can make anything out of anything else, and he may have to. The artist Tronda Patterson will draw the voyage. Mark Richards is the rowing coach, and Nick Hollis the doctor.
They really want to go forwards rather than back here. I'll sort that out later on, Mum. I thought you'd like to take with you. Yeah. Should I?
Good winds
Thank
to
you. That's most important.
I know it is.
As the last of the crew come aboard, Greek onlookers thank their modern Jason for bringing a piece of their history alive.
Modern Jason
Fine.
with olive trees.
Okay, thank you.
It is
For the boat.
for the boat, for a farewell to you. This expedition is just a minima of peace to the world, to the whole world. And we thank you very much. We're very grateful to you and had the idea to make this to be again.
Are you going to give me a kiss? I hope she serves you well. And
The oarsman will resent it if I go too far away from the rocks.
Okay. Καλό ταξίδι.
Great.
Good luck.
Take care, Tom.
We'll see you.
The new Argonauts have stowed their sleeping bags under the benches. Libations must be offered now to Poseidon and to Apollo, the god of embarkations.
policies in Nicaragua.
Tim Severin has been given a certain statistic from tank tests done at Southampton. These men, rowing together at a steady pace, will generate as much power as a small outboard motor, about 2 horsepower. He has decided not to tell them this just yet. They have 500,000 strokes ahead of them. Mark Richards of Keble College, Oxford, has the job of coaching them. They have to learn to keep rhythm, not to shorten stroke and crash the lead counterweight of their oar into the spine of the man in front. The men who've sailed with Tim Severin on other voyages know the taste of shark meat well enough. They survived on it in the doldrums. They have similar plans now for a passing fin. Tronder has brought his harpoon. That shark got away. Something must have frightened it. At this point, the legend says, Jason wept as he turned his eyes from his native land. But the rest struck the sea with their oars in time with Orpheus' lyre. A real Mycenaean ship might have done less rowing and waited for wind, but they were professionals, these are amateurs. Although the rowing has got smoother after 2 days out, these 12 men have rougher seas than this ahead of them. Tim Severin wants to test them to the limit. They have to hug the coast like early sailors, voyaging without even a compass. But an onshore gale could be a killer. These seas are strewn with wrecks. There's no evidence that any of these open galleys ever got as far afield as Colchis. The Greeks did wander in search of metals for Bronze Age industries, but the bold theory that they reached the Black Sea is only supported by the Jason legend, and that has yet to be proven.
That's it.
Jason got a fair wind here as well. According to the writer Apollonius, they stepped the mast and fixed it with forestays, then hauled the sail up and unfurled it. After making the halyards fast on deck, each round its wooden pin, they sailed on at their ease. For all her romantic ancient beauty, this new Argo remains an open boat, smelling of pitch and mutton grease, cramped and comfortless. A strange little world to live in.
Why didn't you treat it as a 3-part rope? Yes. Double up a strand. Yeah. Should have learned it in the Boy Scouts. That would have been better, wouldn't it? But I haven't been in the Boy Scouts.
Take 2 and pass them on.
Ah, the cook's rations. Can keep a check.
All right. I'm just embroidering Argo in Greek. We've got Argo in English at the top. And I'm doing Argo in Greek.
You're going to get Russian Argo later?
Yeah. But the only difference between a Russian Argo and a Greek Argo is in the final O. The Greeks got an omega, and the Russians just got a single O.
I'm going to have to row soon. I hate rowing.
Some nights are spent on beaches, some have to be rowed or sailed through. Catching up on sleep aboard means lying on your bench, a plank 9 inches wide. There's no captain's cabin, only one private pillow. This is the 5th day. The Argonauts sail under Mount Olympus, seat of the gods in Greek myth. The gods of the ancient world were close to men. Half the original Argonauts were children of gods. One of the Greek volunteers, Elias, grew up learning the Olympian legends at his mother's knee.
Folk history has it that those two mountains kept fighting all the time. And the song goes that Olympus και Κίσαβος τα δυο βουνά μαλώναν. And the reason why they kept fighting those two mountains was that Olympus kept getting the credit all the time, being the most famous mountain, and everybody thought that Kissavos was part of Olympus, therefore denying Kissavos its identity.
It's a voyage which has caught the imagination of every Western culture down the centuries. Our poet Spenser wrote about the one dread Argo, which in venturous peace, first through the Euxine seas, bore all the flower of Greece.
Thank you. You want your coffee?
Hey.
Tosses.
Yeah?
Do you have Marlin spike?
Yeah.
Raiders.
What?
Doggy. Frankie food.
What have we got?
Scrambled eggs.
No, we want to have some honey and other things.
Floppy wings.
Dissecting it.
Because there was only one of them in it.
Oh, that's good stuff. I don't mind eating chicken. It's just when it's called scrambled eggs.
Has now covered 250 sea miles in 11 days. The first official port of call, apart from anchorages, is to be the island of Lemnos. Here Jason landed and met a curious welcome. In the year before his landing there had been a massacre. The men of the island were stricken with loathing for their lawful wives who smelt, so they brought home foreign mistresses from their business trips to Thrace. On discovering this, the Lemnian women killed the girls, their own husbands, and every male on the island. Then they ran it themselves. When the Argonauts landed, the women came out in armour, ready for a fight, but the Queen's old nurse advised them to make peace, so they invited the men to stay and live with them. Which they did, fathering many children to ensure the island's future. The heroes might have stayed forever, but eventually Hercules shamed them into sailing on. Modern Lemnos greets the visitors with a fleet of escort boats. The reception committee has been waiting for hours.
This is the port authorities are anxious and waiting and asking him what's happening to the boat. And it'll take us about 2 hours to get in, so why don't we just give him a line so he'll tow us in?
We're having supper.
John, you're the next relief after me. Relief, bench, ship, train. Tells me that in the last half hour he'll have to just shut the cooker off because we simply don't have any spare people on board and we've got to row the necessary number.
You want to start eating now?
I think we'll probably give them a meal.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought, but...
I think we just ought to get in while there's a good bit of light then.
There's plenty of food. It's curry.
Need a breaststroke really, stop it pulling out. Should that work?
A well-wisher is wondering what Elias' wife is going to think about his appearance. Elias says, "Do you expect me to be fresh after 12 days of that? A bundle of joy, aren't I?" Homer mentions in the Iliad that a son of Jason by the Queen of Lemnos was ruling this island when the Greeks stopped here for provisions on their way to the Trojan War. He gave them wine and food, for 30 centuries ago, Lemnos was as fertile as it is today. It's certainly no longer a society ruled by women. A Lemnian feminist group does exist, but it has a hard time making any headway. For the crew, there may not be a reception committee of eager Lemnian women, but there is a God-sent opportunity to do some shopping. Provisions on Argo have been a considerable problem. The ship's engines, after all, are human engines. Whereas a coaster might take on 4,000 gallons of diesel, they take on calories in every form they can, food and alcohol. They cause a mild shopping sensation.
No, I don't want the ball. No ball.
The Argonauts buy out the entire stock of some small shops.
Go this way. Okay, put them in the fridge, yeah? Right.
But still, within days, they'll be down to the old monotonous diet of rice, eggs, yoghurt, porridge, and whatever private stores they can squirrel away underneath their rowing benches.
Really smell up.
Tonight there is to be a ceremonial welcome, the first of many junkets in the small ports along the route. Argo is, after all, their ship, come home after 3,000 years.
για πυρηβάνι στις πλάτιες λαγάρι σε λαμπεράσει παίξει και γελάσει.
Τι γίνεται, μεταξύ των ιών.
Shall we say in Polish? Squad.
History of Limnos.
Fine.
From the mayor.
Thank you very much.
Who is wishing you a pleasant stay.
Good. Thank you very much indeed.
Λοιπόν, αρχίζουμε.
Βεβαίως, μπορείτε να αρχίσετε. Ο κύριος Severin.
We are very obliged to you for making such a fine reception for us, and I only have one thing to warn my crew about. The original Argonauts were so well received that they spent 2 years on your island. We don't have so much time, and I hope I don't have to send Hercules to rouse the Argonauts from the houses of the lovely Lemnians. Thank you.
The first leg of the voyage is over. Argo has performed well in her home waters and in mild weather, but she has hardly begun her real job yet. It's the storms and currents that lie ahead which will make or break the voyage and its heroes.
And this Voyage of the Heroes continues tomorrow afternoon, just after 3 o'clock.